We all know, certainly his supporters among us do, but we all know Jeremy Corbyn is honest. He has integrity. He is for the working class and wants to change things so everyone is on a level pegging. But just when we have hope, and then a challenger comes along, just when we think that Owen Smith may well be the same, our hopes are dashed. Coming up. I refer back to an interview in Parliament by Laura Kunsberg when Owen Smith said he wants the trust of the British people. He wants a campaign that shows us good camaraderie. Then right off the back of that, he lies on his CV. Now the Guardian newspaper was the first one that pointed this out. The lie that is under scrutiny is the fact that he lied on his CV. And he said, and most of us may well know this now, a member and director of the UK and Ireland board of Amgen. Now, the Guardian obviously reported this and done their own research into this big lie, and they actually got a quote from Amgen. Owen Smith's position at Amgen did not give him any involvement or influence on the topics raised here. He was an employee in the UK for 18 months and was not an officer of the company or board member. So why did he lie on his CV? Was it due to the fact that he was so keen to impress yet again, a bit like he was when he was at Radio 4 and he dialed 999 just to get an interview with the police commissioner? I think it was. Now obviously Owen Smith's team had to respond to this incident over the CV, and they did. And they said Owen Smith was on the most senior director level in the UK, but they are only allowed to have, in company terms, one board, and that is in the USA. But it is shorthand for what he did here. Now to me, that doesn't make sense. That makes it sound right that Smith put that on his CV, makes it sound right that he was allowed to lie. In shorthand, was he a member of the board? As they said themselves, there is only one board and he wasn't on it. And he was the most senior director in the UK. But I repeat again what Amgen said. Any involvement or influence on the topics raised here, and was not an officer of the company or board member. Now from my experience, doesn't a director of a company, even at a branch level, have some influence, have some involvement? But he didn't have any of that. But still, according to his team, he did, even if it was in shorthand. If that's the case, then why after a few hours did he go onto his website and completely change the definition of what he first stated? A director and member of the UK and Ireland team of Amgen. Why can't politicians just tell the truth? It really isn't that hard. If you lie about something, you will always get found out every single time. It just seems to me he was just trying to be better than anyone else, trying to be better than the guy he is in competition with. He is even trying to be better than the very members that placed him where he is. Not only is he delusional over his CV, he is delusional over his position and responsibility to the paying members, coming out recently and stating that members are there to serve the PLP, not the PLP serving the Labour members, the members that pay every month to keep the party afloat. It's like John McDonnell said, this whole thing about getting rid of Jeremy Corbyn is actually about the 1% telling the 99% to get back in your place. You've even got a millionaire Labour donor, Michael Foster, trying to take the party and Corbyn to court to try and get him off the ballot, which he later lost, and I'm not surprised. But considering Corbyn has beaten Michael Foster in the past by 55% as a candidate, I'm wondering if it was actually a bout of revenge. Michael Foster has even called a female candidate a CUNT when she mentioned his £1.5 million home during the discussion over mansion tax. And what does Jeremy Corbyn want to do? He wants to raise the taxes on the rich, wants to sort out corporate tax. Needless to say, I guess you could argue to a degree that some of the MPs, and on both sides, could be considered part of the rich group of people. When he does win the leadership once again, I feel the gravy train within the House will stop, and it will stop very quickly. No more claiming for duck houses and things for under £1, and claiming for TV licence, which is what Owen Smith does, I'll have you know. And this, I think, is what a lot of them are scared of. But back to Owen Smith and the fact that he wants a second referendum. How can he bang on about democracy when he wants to drag this all up again? The vote has been made. The votes have been counted. I said once before, and I'll say again, by having a second referendum, it undermines the very reason why the voting system was brought in. Look, let's just say Owen Smith got his wish and he did have a second referendum, and then the vote was to stay in. What happens to the people that still voted out? Do they protest for a third referendum and then a fourth, fifth and sixth? Where would it stop? That's like Andy Murray playing a match against Djokovic, and they have a rematch, and they have a rematch after rematch, because the British people don't like the fact that Murray lost, so they keep playing until he does. Owen Smith is not for the people, and he is not for the NHS. He worked for a company that makes money off the back of the NHS struggling, and now has completely changed his mind and is pro NHS. Don't be fooled. It seems everything this motley crew and try and do to get Corbyn out, he still holds on, and with support of the British public and a majority of the Labour members, the paying Labour members, they are scared of all the stuff coming out that they have been doing behind closed doors. But here is a theory that me and someone else have discussed at great length. The reason why the PLP want Corbyn out is they are happy going along as they are. I'll admit it is a great responsibility running this country as Prime Minister and making the big decisions, but the PLP are happy to take the thousands of pounds in wages without really having to make the big decisions, without having to get off their backsides and work hard to make Britain great again. Why do it when someone else can do it, while someone else is doing it? They know Jeremy Corbyn has the backing of the British public, who are in fact the real voters. And if he does get in, they will have to work for their money, and they can't be asked to do it. And that is why they want him out. If you agree with what was said in this episode, click the thumbs up and feel free to comment. I would love to hear your ideas. Click subscribe and make sure you never miss an episode. Together, we really can make Britain great and work towards getting ourselves a better political system. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon.